you thought that I came into this episode fully recovered from the last episode, no. Yeah, I'm just nervous because my heart was broken and I just want some jolliness. I just want this episode to just be full of joy. I know that's difficult given the circumstances, but I mean, nothing's impossible. This is episode 15 of season 2 for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Hello everyone, Liam Catterson here, and we are watching phases for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So yeah, last episode that happened. I put my immediate thoughts on Patreon, and everyone was like, "You poor gem." So yeah, last week. Yeah, that happened. So yeah, first before we do get into the episode, I believe when this comes out on YouTube, it'll be around the time. But for you Patreon people, it'll be a few weeks out yet, so I can't move my mouse because I want to confirm that 23rd of September to potentially October 7th, maybe October 14th, I will be taking a couple of weeks off. It's part of my annual YouTube break, so but I feel like this will help as well because these last few months not been great for me, but I mean, doing reactions has kept me on, I guess, a level of sanity, so that's great. But yeah, I will be taking a couple of weeks off, so I also want to say that in between those dates, I will be putting out a full schedule video, so I would keep an eye out on that one, because the most likely probability is Buffy's schedule days are going to change. There's still going to be 2 episodes a week, it's just that it will probably not be on the Tuesday and the Friday like it is with the normal schedule, so keep an eye out on that one so you do not miss when you can check out Buffy. So, yeah, like I said, this episode is going to be a good episode, it's going to be healthy, it's going to be joyful, because last week, or last episode, should I say, yeah. Well, it was the beginning of last week as well, yeah, but still. This is episode number 15, this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, let's go.
This cheerleading trophy. It's like its eyes follow you wherever you go.
Holy shit, she's still alive.
I like it.
So did you like the movie last night?
I don't know. Today's movies are kind of like popcorn. You know, you forget about them as soon as they're done. I do remember I liked the popcorn, though.
What, Spider-Man Into
Yeah, it was good.
Spider-Verse.
Actually, an evil mastermind. It's fun.
I mean, she's got to be putting out. What's the point? What are you going to do? Talk? Come on, fess up.
You're just jealous.
Nowhere. I mean, he said he was gonna wait until I was ready, but I'm ready. Honest, I'm good to go here.
Maybe there's
It's
nerves.
nice that he's not just being sharing our misery thing tonight.
Great. I'll give Xander a call. What's his number? Oh, yeah. 1-800 I'm dating a skanky hoe.
Meow.
Damn,
Thanks.
spill
I've
the
never
tea.
gotten a meow before.
Well deserved.
Darn tootin'. I'm just saying, Xander and Cordelia. Ew, what is he?
Okay, now I know I heard something.
All right, that's it. You know, your mind hasn't been here all night. How about I just drop you off?
Can't hear that. See, I'm not crazy. I am not crazy. Holy shit, it's a wolf.
Let's go!
Jesus.
Told you I heard something.
Werewolves only prowl during a full moon might be erroneous.
Or it could be a crock.
Well, unless the werewolf was using last year's almanac.
Looks like Giles has some schooling to do.
Yes, I must admit, I am intrigued. The werewolves, it's one of the classics. I'm sure my books and I are fascinating
not
after-
Willow. Giles is so enthusiastic about the prospect of a werewolf.
Needs
It's
to
so
get a
funny.
Sunnydale is becoming
Get him
more
a-
dangerous
get
all
him
the
a
time.
wolf.
My cousin Jordy just got his grown-up teeth in. It's not like to be tickled.
Teresa! Be still, my
You know,
sweets.
you didn't need to
We're in the
go
same
into
group.
her ear. Just
I may
saying.
have to attack. Oh, Summers, you are turning me on.
Okay, that's harassment, and that's what you get.
That works, too.
Mm-hmm.
great deal of psychological influence. And the full moon seems to bring out our darkest qualities.
And yet, ironically, led to the invention of the moon pie.
Moon pie.
There's something tickling Giles's books
You
today.
see, the werewolf is such a potent, extreme representation.
Hey, I'm impressed.
Excuse me?
Well, it's good to get the fruit while it's fresh.
You'd be wise to take that back.
Hey, what a man and a girl doing lovers laying at night is nobody.
Okay, hey, enough.
Get him,
Impulsive brain, that's
Giles!
not what you
Get
think.
him!
We're hunting.
It looks like he's auditioning to be a librarian, and you, well,
Well,
you're a girl.
I assure you she's quite capable.
Uh-huh.
she's a girl.
Let me
She
ask you
can't
something,
do
sweetheart.
shit
Exactly
because
how
she's a
many of these
fuck
animals
off.
have you taken out?
As of today?
I tore a tooth from the mouth of every werewolf that I killed. This next one will bring
I'm
the
sure
total
they're
to
just
an
fake
even
props
dozen.
from eBay.
So you're just gonna...
Yeah.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere? Don't you go to school with Buffy?
Aw,
Oh, you know
shoot.
Buffy?
Yes, I do, very well. Come on, I'll get you home.
Don't trust random people you meet on the street. Don't!
And some sort of holding pattern, except without the
Timing.
holding or anything else.
What's he waiting for? What's his problem? Oh, that's right, he's a guy.
Yeah, him and Xander, guys.
Who do they think they are?
A couple of guys.
I'm a guy in a... Whoa! Nelly, no! Ah, shoot. What great teeth you have, Grandma. Oof. Bloody hell.
This is what happens when a woman tries to do a man's job.
You look
Oh,
here,
bloody
Mr.
hell.
Kane. This girl risked her life trying to capture a beast that you haven't as yet been able to find.
Uh-huh. Daddy's doing a great job carrying her bag of milk bones.
Just elbow him, Giles.
You know, sis, if that thing out there harms
Bring out the
anyone,
Ripper in you.
it's going to be on your pretty little head. I hope you can live with that.
I live with that every day.
Wait! Oz! Nah, you can't! No! Oh, man. Of course, there had to be something going on with our wonderful Oz.
Can't believe I let that thing get away. Kane was
See,
right.
if I was going
Killed
to take
him
a
at chance.
hunch,
Killed
it would
what?
be a secret wizard or something.
To be taken over by those uncontrollable urges.
You said you didn't remember anything about that.
Oh!
I said I didn't remember anything about that. Look, the point is I have an affinity with this thing. I can get inside of its head.
Just quickly change the subject. Xander.
I'm a big bad wolf.
How are people going to look at me after they find out I'm gay?
Oh!
I said it. And it felt...
Oh, that's really crappy that he
Okay.
thinks that, that he needs a cure.
I am gay. That I didn't want to believe about myself.
Larry, no, I am not.
Of course.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I wouldn't do that to you. Your secret's safe with me.
Oh, Larry.
She had a lot of friends.
Buffy, you can't blame yourself for every death that happens in Sunnydale. If it weren't for
Exactly.
you, people would be lined up 5 deep waiting to get themselves buried. Willow
Hero
would
doesn't
be Robbie the robot's
save
love
every
slave. I
life,
wouldn't even have a
sadly.
head. And Teresa's a vampire.
Angel.
He was involved with this, of course.
Are you okay?
Is it happening? He's gonna keep coming after me.
Don't let him get to you. He's not the same guy you knew.
He's Angelus, not Angel.
doing nothing by yourself.
We'll talk about this tomorrow. I
No,
promise.
damn it. We'll talk about this now. Buffy told me that sometimes what a girl makes has to be the first move, and now that I'm saying this, I'm starting to think that the written version sounded pretty good, but you know what I mean.
I know, it's me.
What's like the
I'm going
first-
through some changes.
Well, welcome to the world. Things happen. Don't you? Oz, what is it? What's wrong?
It's only a few times of every month, which is fine, I guess. Ah, dang! Someone trank him.
Now play dead.
Oh, but he shot. Wait, did he miss? Go on, Buffy. Wolfie, we're friends. Do it now. Is that one? No. Ah, dang it. Oh, Willow's gonna be the one to shoot. There we go.
No one here's man enough to kill him.
Well, I wouldn't be too sure of that. How about you let the door hit you in the ass on the way out of town?
Tell him.
I mean, what life could they possibly have together? We're talking obedience school, paper training. Oz is always in the back bearing their
Xander,
things, and that kind
shh.
of braid can turn on its owner.
Shh.
I don't know. I kind of see Oz as the loyal type.
All I'm saying is she's not
I
safe
do.
with them. If it were up to me...
Xander, it's not up to you.
Exactly. You're being selfish, and it's driving me up the wall.
Hey.
You mean you'd still?
Yes.
Well, I like you. You're nice. And you're funny. And you don't smoke. And you're an okay werewolf. That's not all the time.
We all have our flaws,
I mean,
imperfections.
3 days out of the month, I'm not much fun to be around either.
You are.
Willow's is still a... Yes! Whoa!
A werewolf in love.
It's official! Oh, man. See? You make Oz not a vampire, but you make Oz a bloody werewolf. Ooh, wonder what that would be like, a werewolf vampire. Eesh. But yeah, you make Oz a werewolf. This ship ain't going down. It was meant to be, whatever the case. And if nobody likes your imperfections, someone else will. I mean, we're not all perfect. We all have our flaws. But do you love who they are at the end of the day? Like, their humanity, their generosity, their personality. Yeah, 3 days of every month is going to be a bit of a stretch, but, yeah. I wonder what would have happened if they did fail to deal with Oz, like, this month. Like, well, we're done. We'll just have to wait another 28 days, and then we're back to this scenario. They'll have a whole month to prepare. But yeah, I'm glad with how that story I am glad with how that story did go around in terms of Oz. Like, I'm glad that there was no need to kill him, or well, they didn't find a cure. And they just said, well, we'll just have to deal with it. We are just fine with it. And the fact is, Oz doesn't want this life, of course. But he's just, of course, you would be nervous telling someone, hey, I'm a werewolf. But it is really, really great stuff to see that Willow was so accepting on she was so accepting on Oz being a werewolf. Like, he is still who he has always been to Willow, and that's perfect. So yeah, and we got the kiss. Happy days. Happy days. See? A bit more joyful. Yes, there were somber moments, but a bit more of a joyful episode. And there was moments where I wanted to punch people in the teeth, but yeah. Kane can piss off. That was fun. I really loved going into that episode, and I really loved finding out a lot more about Oz. Of course, there had to be some skeletons in his closet, because why not? But no, at least he is being super, super cool about it, and he's not like a character that needs to be put down. No pun intended. But yeah, I really, really loved going into this episode. Will Oz is finally happening. Oh man, this was a pretty fun episode. There were moments where I did eye roll. All down to in character and also, I guess, writing in a sense, but it was still a very fun episode to go into, and I really loved a lot of aspects about this episode so much. Buffy, like Xander was bugging me out with his with his reaction to Oz and Willow potentially being a thing. I'm not so sure if that's down to restraint or if that's down to the typical Xander jealousy, like he does showcase for Buffy, because him and Willow have this more, like, I don't know, I can feel more of a friendship vibe, I guess, with Willow and Xander than I would with Buffy. And like, if I was going to choose which one of them two would most likely be in a relationship with Xander, it would be Buffy. So I'm not so sure if that's all down to the restraint, like if that restraint on Oz is all down to him being a bit overprotective. But I don't know. Oz has been, I guess it's that case of, oh, you could be a nice person, but behind the scenes, you could be a right douchebag. So he might have that mindset in him. I don't know, but I really wish he would pack it in, because it does drive me up the wall. And it's not the first time he's been super jealous, and it's all down to the things he's not able to have. As we've seen earlier in the season, he's always, like, whenever Buffy's talking with another guy, he just loses his shit. And I do feel so bad for Cordelia. Like, I absolutely do, like, feel so bad for her when, like, because she even put it best. Why is it whenever we're together, you're always thinking about Buffy and Willow? Like, dude, I know Cordelia isn't the most pleasant person in the world, but she has this urge to be with you, as evident. She's feeling hurt, if anything, about the fact that he's so obsessive with Willow and Buffy. He's got a world right in front of him that wants to show him some affection, and he's just swinging that away with this obsession with Buffy and Willow, in my opinion. So yeah, but I really loved how Buffy told it, like, before we had that kiss. I really loved how Buffy told Xander where to go, basically. It's none of his business, and it is none of his business. If there is something shady going on with Oz, like this episode did portray, but at least Oz does have some guilt and doesn't want to be this werewolf personification. But before that, if he was being like Larry, for example, and Willow was attracted to Oz with that douchebaggy personality, then you can probably jump to that worry. But he's like, I guess that it's that mindset of the nice people are always the ones most in danger. I don't know, but maybe it's just that. Maybe he's just a nice guy, and we just have to accept it. Like, nice people are not always shady. Some people are just nice because they are nice. Deal with it. But yeah, there was a great deal of I can never say the word, but misogynism. I think I got it right, actually. Yeah, it's up there with jewelry. Yeah, I think I nailed that one there, but I think I stood. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, there was a great deal of that in this episode, especially with Kane and Larry, I guess. But yeah, Kane, like they wrote it. They deliberately wrote Kane to be this dick, so it's not like, oh, the writing sucked because Kane was deliberately set out to be a dick from the get go. And yeah, he was all hurt whenever a sign of woman showing strength appeared. Like from the moment he made his first comment, I just wanted to toss him into a motorway, an active motorway. But yeah, he was quite the frustration during this episode, not just for the fact that he was willing to kill Oz, but because of that like misogynism, because of him being a complete see you next Tuesday to Buffy. And I just really, really loved that scene where Buffy bent his gun and it was like, so what about women now? And yeah, showed him his place. But there was also Larry, who was a bit more of a sympathetic there was a bit more of a sympathetic story to his case because he turned out to be gay, and I guess that him just he was just trying to fit in to the heterosexuality world so badly, where he needed to present this like masculine front. But it was still very, very sickly to see, especially when he touched Buffy's bum, and I was really, really glad. See, that's what I really, really loved about Buffy in this episode. Like both cases of trying to make women vulnerable, Buffy dealt with them like a bloody champ. She flipped over Larry with brutal force. She bent the gun and absolutely owned Larry in this episode. So I really, really enjoyed Buffy and just showing both characters up. But yeah, we had Larry being inappropriate in this episode. And like I said, I guess him trying to fit into the heterosexuality world is, I guess, his reasoning to like, oh, because I'm worried about me being gay, it's going to come out and I'm going to have all of this heat, I'm going to be kicked off the football team, etc., etc. And I think the 90s was, well, I think it definitely was still a bit of a shaky era for the LGBT people. Because I know, especially early 2000s, especially going in school, like, gay was the cool word to insult people. So, yeah, and people who were like, you couldn't be gay because of the fact that you would get bullied in the early 2000s. So I imagine this would be the same in America late 90s. But still, I like, just because you are putting on this masculine front and you're showcasing an ugly attitude, it doesn't mean that coming out being gay, like coming out saying you're gay or you're bisexual, etc. It doesn't excuse what you've done in the past, because it's still really, really dodgy. Like, I don't. Now that I've got this knowledge that Larry is gay, I don't look at the scene where he touched Buffy's ass, for example, and think, oh, well, that's all water under the bridge. Larry was just acting like an ass at the end of the day. Like, even if it is to present a front, it's still really, really dickheadish, in my opinion. So, yeah, like, unleashing those suppressed feelings to Xander, I feel it doesn't excuse you from being a dick towards people. Even if you want to put on that front, it's still really, really shady, in my opinion. So, yeah, like I said, I don't look at scenes like him touching Buffy's ass as like, oh, well, that's water under the bridge now. It's still really, really shoddy for me. So, yeah. Going back to Kane, though, he was always remarking about, Buffy, like, whenever he was tailing the wolf, he was always remarking about, oh, it got away because of a girl. And he would always be one to, I just wanted to see Giles bring out the Ripper, to be fair, on him. No, but with Kane just insulting women, thinking they are weak and they can't do anything, and just seeing Buffy deal with both Larry and Kane when they made women feel vulnerable was just a pleasure and a sight to behold. That doesn't mean, though, that Buffy's comment about, oh, your typical male can be passed off, because this episode does slam hard on the males by having characters like Kane and Larry exist. But also you had the female side talking smack about men. And I do get it. There's a lot of dickheads out there, but not all men are the same, which I don't know if Buffy's in that mindset, especially since she's just come off a rough ending in episode 14. But it's just like, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but like, I think it's around people's Buffy's age as well. I'm not so sure, but you have these people who, and it pisses me off so much, who say all men are the same. And all I can say is to that is fuck you, because you don't know, because not all men, like, out of there's not 7 billion men, but like out of 7 billion people and out of all men, they're not all going to have the same template. There's going to be people like Oz, which I think was really, really great stuff to say, and I'll get onto in a minute, but there's going to be people like Oz out there who's a gem. So yeah, but yeah, well, actually, no. Oz. Let's just go on to Oz while we're on this subject. Like, Oz is the perfect counter to like all men are the same. Like, he has some demons in his closet, which we divulged into this episode, and yet he's worried that something bad can happen from something he cannot control, and he regrets it so much. But yet, Willow still sees the light in him. Because he wants to do good. He wants to be a decent soul. He wants to be a decent boyfriend. Even that was remarked about the fact when Willow wanted to kiss Oz, and Oz was like, the right time, when we both feel that mutual love. I don't want to use you. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like whilst Buffy's making these comments and we have examples like Larry and Kane, Oz is the perfect counter to this all men is the same trope, because this episode, with his with what darkness he holds inside of him, it's the perfect counterpoint, I feel. So yeah, but like I said, I do get that that Buffy's still reeling from Angel, who we did see in this episode, who took a bite out of Teresa, and he was encouraging Oz to feast away, but Oz not having any of it. So yeah, but this is why you should never, like, to be fair though, he's got a handsome face, so like you can't really, like, I guess you can't really turn down the opportunity of Angel walking you home, but we know the shtick. He's Angelus, so yeah. But yeah, Oz, that reveal, well, first off, the wolf suit, I think needs a bit of improvement, especially if we're going to see more of it, because it happens 3 times every month, so there's the odd possibility we might get to see Wolf Oz. Is that right? Wolf Oz? Oswolf? I don't know. Someone will probably come up with a better name for that for that condition. But yeah, the Oz reveal was, if we're going to see more of that, then I think the suit needs a bit of an upgrade. But yeah, the Oz reveal was really amazing, because I think there was a lack of build to it. And Oz was just, like I said, Oz is just starting to become a recurring character now. He's in on the know about Buffy's shenanigans. And of course, with a nice guy like Oz, with this darkness inside of you, I can't really blame him for being so distant with the mounting pressure on exposing your wolf self to people like Willow, because you don't want to rupture this thing. And again, this episode showcases how clear it is that he has these nice ambitions, and he wants to do good for Willow, and he's just a pure gem. He just doesn't want this to be game over. He just doesn't want Willow, for example, to freak out. Yes, he knows that she is involved with the whole slaying business, but he's nervous and he's cautious. And it's one thing to, take care of vampires. It's another dating someone with like I was going to say who's an animal form, and it's all going back to the fact that Willow, Xander, and Buffy can never have a normal relationship. There always has to be something going on with these characters, and once again, at least this has a more positive spin this time. Whereas, well, Bangel did for a while. Yeah. But yeah, at least this has a bit more of a positive spin. Compared to Xander, Willow with I, Robot You, Jane. Yeah, this has a bit more of a positive spin this time, so that's all well and good. But yeah, he's very, very cautious. But I really liked it. I had no idea that Oz was going to turn out to be this werewolf. But like I said, at the same time, of course he had to have some skeletons in his closet, because why not? The memory loss thing from the pack got revealed, the whole memory loss. I just loved how Xander was just so quick to deviate away from that subject. There was also a moment when they dealt with Vampire Teresa that I thought Buffy was going in for the kiss with Xander. It looked like it. There was a small part of me that was like, wait. And I felt like if they actually went through with that, it would have weakened the episode, and it would have weakened Buffy's character. Well, I wouldn't say that, but it would ruin things a bit with what Buffy's feeling. Like, she doesn't need to move on quickly. She's got to battle through these emotions, and she's got to confront because I do feel like it would be a bit easy. Like, I don't know, there would be a part of the writing that would make me feel, okay, well, it might be a bit easier for Buffy to kill Angel. And I'm sadistic when I say, going back to last episode, it really, I really appreciate the fact that they did put this vulnerability in Buffy, because not, like, we don't want our main hero to be, like, we don't want any hero to, I guess, be OP and they can go through anything. They've got to face their own stumbling obstacles. So that's why I'm really excited to see, that's one of the reasons why I'm really excited to see where this Angela story does go, because Buffy's going to have episode after episode dealing with these emotions and maybe building herself to be a bit stronger. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I thought they were going for the kiss. Thank goodness they didn't, because I thought that I would have had words about that. But yeah, we also had more of Willow being ranty. Although this time it wasn't like, oh, tell them, put them in their place. You just felt for Oz with his current predicament, but you also felt for Willow, who was just frustrated and she just wanted to get this relationship on the rails. So, yeah, it was a case where you just sided with both characters, whereas you were like, you know what? Willow put you both in your place, like she did before with Cordelia and Xander, and she did with Angel and Giles. So, yeah, but it was still really fun to see Willow just let loose, because I'm always here for Willow's rants. That should be like a show. We also had Buffy blaming herself with Teresa as well, which became a very prominent thing during this episode. And again, going into that vulnerability, we're like exploring that case where Buffy's hurt about the fact that, well, she's hurt, but she acknowledges that she isn't perfect. At the same time, Xander really raised a good point where it's the case for everyone who pursues the hero life, or, like, if they don't call themselves a hero, that kind of life anyways, they cannot save every life. And that's sadly the harsh reality to everyone who wants to do good, who wants to be a hero, who wants to try and help lives. They can't deal with everything. And I feel like Buffy has this mountain pressure that's following the whole thing with Angel. I feel like she feels like she has to perfect herself. And sadly, that's not the case. Or, like, sometimes you, like, well, that's the case in the hero life. Like I said, you can't be perfect. You can't save every life. But I feel like that feeling is a bit more stronger with the fact that she feels this kind of responsibility that she failed Angel, so she has to try and from here on not fail. And with Teresa getting bitten, she's going to feel that big responsibility. So I don't know. That's my interpretation of it. Like, her emotions are amplified because she failed Angel. So Teresa get like someone who was seemingly had a nice reputation at school, someone who perished, who she liked. She's going to feel this strong responsibility, that this burden that she didn't do good enough. But sadly, that's the hero life. You can't save everyone, despite your best wishes. That's basically the life of a hero. Sometimes you've got to take some losses. So yeah, but this is why we need the Avengers of Slayers or something like that. I don't know, but no. In all seriousness, that was a pretty good episode. Like I said, Oz's reveal. Still can't believe his cousin did it. It seems to imply, but yeah, his cousin reveal was pretty. The cousin reveal, well, that was cool, but the Oz reveal into a werewolf was pretty insane. As well as the Larry bit, I did feel some sympathy for Larry. Like I said, going back to the harsh times of being part of the LGBT, it does make you resonate with the character. But like I said, his actions I do not condone whatsoever. But I do feel with him a lot more than I do with that bloody Kane. He can get what have I not used? What's a violent term I have not used? I don't know. Just toss him into an active motorway, like I said. No, but in all seriousness, it was a really solid episode. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!